Accept it with gratitude and thank the universe for allowing these people or these unlikable circumstances to be the vessel that pushes you forward. Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah. I am an author, a professor, and of course, a master manifester. I always tell people that manifesting the life I choose is all I know. I don't know how long it's been since I've been on default, but I don't play that game anymore. I am a very intentional manifester, and that's something that I want to share with you to help you become a very intentional manifester. So today I'm talking about receiving manifestations through people you don't like. So this is a very interesting subject for me because throughout my journey, I found several times on very different occasions that I have had instances where I was around someone who gave me trouble mentally for some reason or spiritually for some reason, and as much as I tried to get out of their space and to move away from that environment, I would keep seeing myself receiving blessings through them. So this is something like, okay, possibly a lot of women have trouble with their mother-in-law, so this is like a mother-in-law that offers to keep the children for free. And you're just like, wow, she really came in just in time when I actually need someone to do that. But I really have trouble with her. Like, I don't like her. And it's no particular reason. Or something along the lines of, I made a little list, right? A supervisor who you've been working for and they micromanage you, but then you find out a month later when you're being given a promotion in a department, a new job that you wanted, it was that supervisor who also made it happen. And another one is a sibling that's toxic, but at the same time, they're willing to give you seed money for your venture, no strings attached, put it that way. So it's kind of up to you to decide whether you're feeling that you're manifesting something through these people and that it's a positive thing for you to receive the gift, or if it's something that you say, hey, I don't want it, let me back off. Something that I dealt with heavily was getting a new partner and having someone who was very financially stable and very financially abundant, more so than I was, and then feeling as if that abundance wasn't something that I attracted because that was abundance that came through them. And so it wasn't a case of somebody that I didn't like. It was that in the situation itself, I didn't care for the situation. I wanted my abundance to come in really specific channels. I wanted to come through my books. I wanted to come through my career. I wanted to come through my online courses. And that was it. So to see abundance flow to me through someone else in my life, it was very hard for me to accept that sometimes. Now, not so much, because if you think about it, you attracted that person into your space. So if there are beautiful things flowing through that other person, then that's your manifestation. You're attracting it. You just have to be willing to let go of some of your preconceived notions and accept the abundance and the manifestation for what it is, right? So another one of those things is dealing with the conflict related to disliking the way that the manifestation comes to you and then being able to allow it into your life. Like I said before, it is strictly up to you. You can decide, I wanted my manifestation to be this one specific way, and it came through somebody I didn't like, through a circumstance I didn't like, and I refuse it. But you have to remember at the same time, you choose to take on any perception that you want of any environment, any events that are taking place in your life. So if you decide that event is too toxic for you to be a part of and that you just can't handle it, it's harder for you to change your perception on it than it is for you to change the perception and then receive the abundance or the manifestation. That is completely up to you. But it's just important to realize that sometimes manifestations and sometimes abundance, it doesn't come to us the specific way that we are looking for it to. It comes to us through the path of least resistance. And sometimes the path of least resistance is like the closest way for something to get to you. The quickest way for it to travel is through someone around you that maybe you don't care for, or a situation that maybe you don't care for. I think about this in working in IT. And when you send and receive information on a network, all the information wants to do is make it to the destination as fast as possible. It's called latency. How long does it take to get from point A to point B? So that's pretty the same idea of what your manifestation is doing. It's just thinking, how quick can I get from point A to point B? It's not taking into consideration your emotions or your past ideas about someone, your past history or your past relationship status or your perceptions about certain types of people, certain types of environments. It's like, okay, yes, they can have this. How quick can we get it from point A to point B? And sometimes it shows up in ways that we don't necessarily love, right? Another aspect of it is deciding to see the bigger picture. So you have to wonder, say if it's that mother-in-law that decides, okay, you know, she's snarky, she has little comments and things, she tries to charge you up when you see her sometimes, but at the same time, she loves your baby dearly because she's the grandmother and she's willing to keep your child for free for the first 6 months of its life, right? Is it a great trade-off? I mean, because think about how many people would love a situation to where they had to go back to work and their child can be kept by someone who loves them, an individual like a grandmother. They don't have to go to daycare. They don't have to be around strangers. They can be in the comfort of someone's home, eliminates sicknesses, eliminates all these viruses they can get, all these behaviors that don't come from the environments that you're choosing for the kid. There's so many things that you can avoid. And so looking at the bigger picture, when that manifestation comes through a person or an environment that you don't like, is it something that's going to open a door for you to be in more of an independent position, for you to receive more the quality and positive things you want in life? Because especially if it's your child, so then you think later on when child has great development, when they can speak really well, when they've been very healthy, when they've been very well fed and taken care of, when they've been socialized exactly the way that you choose, is it worth it for you to swallow the pride of not liking someone for the bigger picture of having that child being nurtured and cared for by someone who loves them way more than anybody in like a child care place can, right? So you have to think, where's the role of the big picture in this? Another thing to remember is, be willing to be open and forgive, right? So something that I had to deal with too when accepting a manifestation or realizing my abundance was coming through people and from environments that I didn't necessarily like. I mean, I remember early on raising my daughters and all freshly divorced. My mother did a lot of stuff for me, right? And so at some point it got really frustrating that I needed her so often. And so I was just like, no more, I'm not taking anything. And it wasn't because it was negative for her to do it. I just wanted to be independent and take care of my own needs and my own things without leaning on someone so much. And then like, you know, a few months later after I was like, no more. I was so anti-help from that direction. You know, I needed help again, like in a couple of months. And she just showed up right on time without me asking or provoking or anything. And I'm thinking like, you know what? This is the manifestation you've been waiting for. And the universe looked around and said, out of all the people that you are connected to, out of all the people that love you, all the people in your vicinity, she has it. It's the path of least resistance. Here's this abundance that you've been needing to take care of yourself. It's not thinking about, I don't want to be treated like a kid. I don't want to be treated like I can't take care of myself. It's just thinking about point A to point B, latency. How can I get this manifestation to them the fastest, right? And so you have to be willing to forgive yourself, forgive them for anything you think that they've done, and kind of get over it if you're willing to accept the abundance and the manifestation from the environments that you don't care for so much, or the people that you didn't want to get it from, right? And then last but not least, accept it with gratitude and thank the universe for allowing these people or these unlikable circumstances to be the vessel that pushes you forward. Because at the end of the day, if it's to grow, if it's to learn, if it's to expand, if it's to increase yourself on any level, and these new manifestations, say it's money, say it's a soulmate, somebody, you know, a girlfriend that you're questionable about whether she likes you that much. Like, she's not even really into me, but she's just like, oh, I got a cousin I'd like you to meet, and you decide to go along with it, and it wind up being a really great person. But you know, I don't really care for her, but she introduced me to such a beautiful person. I know some of y'all have met friends like that. You've had a friend that was so, and they introduce you to somebody that you like way more than that person. You just like, oh, universe, you could have saved me, but you couldn't have had the new friend without going through the old friend. So it's being willing to be grateful for the vessels that the universe chooses, because those vessels have nothing to do with your likes and your dislikes for the most part. You know, whether you are appreciative of the person or not, or any of those little negative nuances that come along with human relationships and human circumstances, it's not necessarily interested in it. And I think that the universe is always testing us to see how much we've grown by how it brings manifestations into our space. Because that one with a mate, running into a partner who he was way further along than me, and a lot of women would be like, wow, that's amazing, you know, a man that's further along than you, that has more, but a lot of me was like kind of upset that I wanted this abundance and I wanted this certain lifestyle and things, but I wanted to create it through me as a vessel, through these specific means. I wanted this development. But at the same time, you had to remember, you attracted this beautiful person. You attracted someone who's willing to treat their own things like it's your things. You attracted someone who's willing to give to you without a second thought. You created the energy for that person to be a willing vessel to support you in so many ways. So you have to remember that anything that is a part of your experience, it is your manifestation. So you can't be angry at your mom because she happens to have the money to hand over to you that you need in order to start a business. You can't be angry with your friend because they have a great cousin to introduce you to, and you actually really like the person. You'd be like, ugh, but I wish she would introduce me. You know, you can't be angry with the supervisor because their natural way is to micromanage and to be nitpicky about everything you do. But at the same time, they see you as a great talent and are willing to help you and open those doors to the next level. Sometimes manifestations are very murky. Sometimes they come through people, places, and things that we don't necessarily love. And sometimes it shows so much growth in who we are if we are willing to be forgiving and willing to appreciate the vessel that the universe chooses. And I think that's all I have to say on that subject. Be open, be willing to share your love and appreciation with the vessels, even the ones you may not love so much, and be willing to learn those lessons and become a better person and expand, even if it's in environments and people and places and things that you would not choose for it to come through to you. Because I don't think the universe cares. I think it comes through the path of least resistance from point A to point B. And I also think it chooses the avenue that would challenge you the most in order for you to grow to the next level. So maybe that next manifestation, that next abundance, that next position that you receive in your career, or the next soulmate that you meet, say for a business partner or something, or the next abundance you receive, maybe it comes straight through you, through all those vessels, through your own personal vessels that you've created for those things to show up. But maybe first round, you have to show the universe that you're willing to be a really big person and accept your manifestations through these really murky areas sometimes. So that's all I have to say about receiving manifestations through people, places, and things that you wouldn't necessarily choose. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I try to put out these videos at least twice a week. And be sure to share these messages with family and friends, because I know they're sharing stuff with you. I get stuff all week from family and friends, and some of it's crazy stuff and some of it's stuff I'm like, I actually wanted to listen to that. So be charitable. Share the messages to people that you think can use them, and you never know who will actually be listening and open in any given time period or any given moment. And I hope you all are having a beautiful life. I hope you're manifesting those things that you choose. I hope you enjoy watching some of my other videos on manifestations. And on this channel, we talk about all things manifesting, because my goal is to show people that you truly can create a beautiful life that you can live on your standards, the way that you choose, every single day. Every day, me and my partner, we're always excited. He's like, can you believe we live like this? And I'm like, I can't believe we live like this. You know, it's like, I feel like I'm a celebrity without all the annoying fame. Have so much access and so much opportunity and so many options on a regular basis. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And all I want to do is share that idea of creating the life you choose deliberately with others. And I think we live in a much better world and a much better place. So once again, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you so much for watching.